as a bit, so if they can help us to make it a bit warmer. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, June 17, 2025. The following documents submitted together with the budget statement from the National Treasury. 1, the budget highlights, the Mwananchi Guide for the financial year 2025-2026 budget. And 2, the statistical annex to the budget statement for the financial year 2025-2026. 2, the Plan Service Commission annual report for the financial year 2023 to 2024. 3 is the reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following: Loreto High School, Matunda; Mbita High School; Santa Maria Girls Secondary School; Loreto High School, Limuru, Kiambu; Kilgoris Boys High School; Oletipis Girls Secondary School; Kiambogo Secondary School; Marymount Secondary School; AIC Morop Girls Secondary School; Mahio Girls Secondary School; and St. Joseph High School, Githongori. 4 is the reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following: training institutes: Nairobi Technical Training, Matungu Technical, Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology, CIA Institute of Technology, Kitutu Chache, Mukiria, and Kirua Technical Training. 5, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following technical and vocational colleges: Langata, Sirisia, Chuka, Kaelo, and Mabera. 6 is the reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following technical and vocational colleges: Sabatia, Gatundu South, Ugunja, Mbere North, Ugenya, Riragia, Seme, Siruti, Rangwe, and Runyenjes. 7 is the reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following technical training institutes: St. Joseph's for the Deaf, Nyangoma, Muranga, Nkubune, and Muraga. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairman, Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 17th June 2025. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on its consideration of the following. Number 1, nominees for appointment as chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. And number 2, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025. Honorable Speaker, allow me to point out that number 2 is the report on the public participation, which we all participated in, including members of the public. We have now produced a comprehensive report, and I would urge the members to obtain a copy, read it, internalize it, and get ready for debate on the bill when it is introduced in the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Murugara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 17th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal Act 2013 and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F of the laws of Kenya, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal. Number 1, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Aroa, chairperson. Number 2, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member. Number 3, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, member. Number 4, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, member. And number 5, Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur, member. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Before that, honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery Kamune Secondary School from Madhioya, Muranga, Gilgil Garrison, I believe, School from Gilgil, Nakuru. In the public gallery, Lorubai Primary School from Samburu East, Samburu, Rubiri Secondary School from Naivasha, Nakuru, Mariani Secondary School from Gatundu North, Kiambu, Mariaini. I'm reading as written. Mariaine Secondary School from Gatundu North, Kiambu, Kirarwa Secondary School from Kinangop, Nyandarua, Migwani Boys Secondary School from Mwingi West, Kitui. I've been requested by 2 members, Honorable Kororia and CNN, to welcome schools from their constituencies. I'll give you a minute each. Kororia, 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our students to this house, the Parliament of Kenya, and specifically Mariaine Secondary School, which comes from my constituency, Gatundu North, and of course, the school that told me just the other day that they're going to produce the next member of Parliament. So I welcome you, Mariaine. This is the house where you will be coming to represent the people of Gatundu North and also to become the next leaders of this nation. With those few remarks, I welcome you. Feel free. This is your house. Thank you very much.
Nguna, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I take this opportunity to welcome all the students who have visited Parliament this afternoon, and more specifically, Migwani Boys, where, Speaker, you passed by when we were doing empowerment program in our constituency. Mr. Speaker, this school, actually everybody last exam qualified to go to university, and that is why they deserve to be in this Parliament. So I welcome them, and Migwani Boys, I'm proud of you for what you are doing to the constituency and particularly to our nation. Thank you. You are the bright, the future leaders of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. On my behalf, on behalf of the whole House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Honorable members, I also wish to welcome 4 members of staff drawn from the Procurement Department of the Parliament of Ghana. The 4 officers are on a visit to the National Assembly to engage with their counterparts on enhancing the knowledge and skills in the application of technology and digital tools in procurement operations, mechanisms for contract management and dispute resolution, as well as strategies in managing public procurement in a parliamentary setting. On my behalf and that of the House, I welcome all of them to the House to observe proceedings of the National Assembly. As you say in your country, AJAABU. Thank you. Next. Next order. You had called out already? Yes, we'll go to statements. Statement response to Michael Muchira's request. Tongoyo. Do you? It's a request. Oh, okay. Muchira. Sorry.
Request for statement regarding the disappearance of identity cards from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West. Orojoro constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of identity cards from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West, Orojoro constituency. Honorable Speaker, on 29th May 2025, over 2,000 national identity cards that were awaiting collection by applicants, together with the collection register, reportedly disappeared from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West, Orojoro constituency under unclear circumstances. The matter was reported to Orojoro Police Station under OB number 08/29/5/2025. This incident has triggered serious concerns among the local residents, particularly the youth, over the safety of their personal information. Hindrance to accessing critical governance services and participation in democratic process. Notably, the affected residents are concerned that their identity cards are likely to be used for illegal activities. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1. A report on the circumstances leading to the reported loss of the 2,000 national identity cards and the collection register from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West, Orojoro constituency on 29th May 2025. 2. The status of investigation into the incident as reported at the Orojoro Police Station under OB number 08/29/5/2025 and the findings of those investigations. 3. Measures put in place to ensure that the serial numbers of the missing identity cards are not flagged out to mitigate the risk of being used for illegal activities. And 4. The steps being taken to replace the identity cards and issue them to the beneficiary free of charge and without delay. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Tongoyo, when can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, I'd indicated to you last week that we had already called the CS to respond to several other statements from members, and you will be appearing on 19th, this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday. So if you can approve, I can also put together the member statement.
Honorable Mushira, you can join in on Thursday and interrogate the minister before the committee. That notwithstanding, the request is to the plenary, you'll still bring a response to the plenary. Joseph Munyoro, member for Kigumo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I raised a request for a statement regarding review of water tariffs charged by Muswasco in Murang'a County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I raised a request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding reluctance by the Water Services Regulatory Board, WASREB, to review of water tariffs by the Murang'a South Water and Sanitation Company Limited. Honorable Speaker, on 12th May 2025, the Water Services Regulatory Board, WASREB, issued a notification of tariff reviews that affected the Gatamadhi Water and Sanitation Company, Murang'a West Water and Sanitation Company, Mwewasco, and Gatanga Water and Sanitation Company, Gatawasco, in Murang'a County. Shockingly, and without any explanation, Murang'a South Water and Sanitation Company, Muswasco, the sole water services provider in Kigumo, Kadara, and parts of Maragua constituencies, was excluded from the review despite charging the highest water tariffs in the county. Honorable Speaker, presently, residents served by Muswasco are being charged Kenya shillings 107 per unit of water supplied, which is significantly higher than their counterparts supplied by other water companies in the region. Notably, following the tariff reduction by WASREB, Mwewasco reduced its charges from Kenya shillings 90 to 76 shillings per unit, and Gatawasco reduced its tariff from 120 shillings to 70 shillings per unit. And it is also noted that Gatamathi Water Company charges 60 shillings per unit. Despite repeated complaints from residents on the notably higher tariffs charged by Muswasco, the WASREB seem non-committal to review rates. This inaction places an unfair financial burden on the affected residents and points towards an apparent regulatory discrimination against Muswasco consumers in Kegumo, Kandara, and Maragua constituencies. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. 1. The basis for the exclusion of Murang'a South Water and Sanitation Company Limited, Muswasco, from the recent downward tariff reviews by WASREB, despite having the highest rates in the region. And 2. The immediate measures being taken by WASREB to review Muswasco's water tariffs to ensure fairness and equity in water service provision across Murang'a County. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Bowen, when can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, will bring a report in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks, thank you. Honorable Farah Yakub, Fafi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the non-medical use of tramadol and benzodiazepine drugs in Northern Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the Northern Kenya region, particularly Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera counties, has been experiencing growing public health and social crisis stemming from the rampant non-medical use and abuse of prescription drugs, notably tramadol and benzodiazepine, such as diazepam. Tramadol is a synthetic opioid painkiller intended for moderate to severe pain management, while benzodiazepine, such as diazepam, are prescribed to treat anxiety, seizures, and insomnia. Although these drugs serve legitimate medical purpose, they are highly addictive and when misused can lead to profound cognitive and behavioral effects, including physical dependency, mental disorientation, aggressive behavior, and in extreme cases, respiratory depression and death. When abused in combination with other substances such as alcohol and mirror, these drugs severely impair judgment and reaction time, leading to increased risk of accidents, violence, criminal behavior, and mental health disorders. Honorable Speaker, according to a 2023 rapid assessment conducted by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Nagada, 1 out of every 5 males between the age of 15 to 30 in Wajir County admitted to having used tramadol on a related sedative or a relative sedative without a prescription. It's also reported that over 35% of all drug-related hospital admissions in Wajir County are directly tied to tramadol and benzodiazepine misuse. Schools in the region have reportedly been reporting escalating cases of truancy, violence, and mental breakdowns among students. This crisis is compounded by the unregulated sale of pharmaceutical drugs by chemists and informal vendors, porous borders, especially with Somalia and Ethiopia, which facilitate unchecked cross-border smuggling of controlled substances. The situation is not only a public health emergency, but also a security and socio-economic threat, with a generation of young people at risk of being lost to addiction. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1. A comprehensive report on the non-medical use of tramadol and benzodiazepine in Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera counties. The regulatory measures in place to control the sale and distribution of tramadol and benzodiazepine, including enforcement action against unlicensed vendors and pharmacies. And lastly, the measures being taken by the Ministry of Health to prevent the non-medical use of tramadol and benzodiazepine in the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair Health. Dr. Nyekal.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we should be able to give a response on this in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, thank
Yes.
you. Responses to statements. Tongoyo. Is Jared Okello in the house? Jared Okello, you can deal with that tomorrow. Next, Omboko Milemba's request. Yes, Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, in regards to the statement being sought by Honorable Jared Okello, I think it is more than just Okello's statement.
Yes.
You remember that before Jared Okello did raise us the statement, the committee had already written to the IG and IPOA, given the gravity of the matter in regards to the death of the late Albert Ojwang. So I would rather need your guidance, Honorable Speaker, because I think that question is of interest to Kenyans, interest to the House. It is not just merely Jared Okello's statement.
I agree with you, but in fairness to the person who brought the issue to the floor, tomorrow is not too far. I think it's good to be fair to your colleagues also. However, Mwenje advised Jared Okello that his statement will be responded to tomorrow afternoon. Omboko Milemba's request, education. Who is responding? Omongina, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A response to a statement by Honorable Milemba, MP, on TSC's delay in disbursement of funds for teachers' medical scheme. Honorable Speaker, the Teachers Service Commission, TSC, is a constitutional commission established under Article 237 of the Constitution with a mandate to manage teachers in the public service. This mandate encompasses the teachers' registration, recruitment, assignment, promotion, disciplinary control, and the overall well-being of teachers. In fulfilling its mandate, in line with the government's commitment to achieving universal health care coverage, the Commission has established a teachers' medical scheme aimed at providing comprehensive health insurance to all teachers employed by the Commission, along with their immediate dependents. Honorable Speaker, to implement this, the Commission has engaged a consortium led by Minet Insurance Brokers, Kenya Limited, through a competitive procurement process in accordance with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. The consortium was awarded a 3-year renewable framework contract effective 1st December 2022 to 30th November 2025, subject to annual performance review and funding availability. Honorable Speaker, the Commission explains that the medical scheme is structured in 2 parts. Part 1 is capitation model. Honorable Speaker, the Commission states that under this model, a fixed payment per member is made quarterly in advance to health facilities covering outpatient care, inpatient services, maternity, dental, and optical services. TSC emphasizes that capitation payments are quarterly based and not annual, and are crucial for enabling facilities to deliver uninterrupted service to teachers and their families. The other model is fully insured model. This component covers last expense, medical evacuation, international treatment and referral services, excesses of loss coverage. The Commission indicates that each covered family consists of 6 members: the teacher, who is the principal, 1 spouse, and up to 4 children. Eligible for this cover is eligibility for the cover is restricted to teachers actively in service and aged between 18 years and 65 years. Honorable Speaker, on response to the delays in the disbursement of funds, this question on why delays has been experienced in disbursing funds for the scheme, the Commission clarifies that no monthly deductions are made from teachers. So their salaries are not cut, but the scheme instead, the entire scheme limits the funds through the exchequer, and it's based on allocation approved by the National Assembly. The Commission reported that in that it had successfully limited all payments due for the first and second policy years, ending 30th November 2024. However, the delay in disbursing funds for the first quarter of the third policy year, 1st December to 2024 to 28 February 2025 was due to the late exchequer release. TSC assured the committee that one supplementary budget 2 was approved by Parliament and the funds disbursed by the National Treasury, the outstanding amounts would be settled immediately to ensure continuity of the scheme. Honorable Speaker, on the alleged 18 billion debt to hospitals, the Commission clarifies that hospitals are not contracted directly by TSC, but rather by the insurance consortium led by Minet. Therefore, payments to service providers are the responsibility of the consortium. TSC stated that as of the date of reporting, it had fully settled premiums for the second policy year and was awaiting funding to settle the pending 6 billion for the third policy year. Honorable Speaker, on measures to prevent...
Too long. Can you paraphrase? We have many other statements. How much more to go?
This is almost the last one, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead.
The Commission indicates that it has always ensured that the implementation of the teachers' medical scheme is successful. Though on a few occasions, it has experienced challenges mainly associated with the disbursement of funds due to budgetary delays. Honorable Speaker, I beg to respond.
If you are satisfied, you don't need to ask anything.
Oh, Honorable Speaker, thank you. There are gaps and therefore I'm not satisfied. One, the respondent took a long time speaking on the mandate of the TSC, but you are directed accordingly. Honorable Speaker, the truth of the matter as it is now is that the so-said monies that are owed to the hospitals have not been paid. In the statement, Speaker, if I can be protected, a little bit too much of loud
Order, members, reduce your consultations.
Thank you. The so-said money that was supposed to be paid to the hospitals, the TSC says that it is the responsibility of the consortium led by Iron Minet to pay. But earlier on in their own statement read here, it says that there has been delay in sending of the money from Treasury. So passing the buck to the consortium, yet it's stating very well that the monies need to come of the exchequer is a way of just running away from the responsibility of the Teacher Service Commission, because the teachers signed that deal with the Teacher Service Commission and not the consortium. The consortium is only known to the Teacher Service Commission, but the teachers know Teacher Service Commission. Honorable Speaker, the second gap is that the TSC acknowledges that they have not paid the last quarter beginning December and going all the way to February. And they are saying that we wait for the supplementary too. Yes, I want to ask parliamentarians, here we are, that you are all affected by this medical cover for teachers. Because from where you come, we have teachers and they are suffering today. Currently, as it obtains, Honorable Speaker, the hospitals have stopped giving medical cover to the teachers.
Honorable Milemba, you are making a speech. Seek clarification.
I've raised two clarifications.
Yes.
Thank you, as directed on why you are passing the buck to the consortium. Yet the main respondent, the main person who should actually deal with the monies is the Teacher Service Commission. As it obtains today, Honorable Speaker, the hospitals stopped giving the services to the teachers. And above all, Honorable Speaker, the teachers lost their medical cover. So it is not something that is free. It is that they are also having payments to this particular scheme. And therefore, can the officer clarify why this money cannot be given to the consortium, given that the teachers themselves surrendered their medical cover, which was formerly medical allowance, which was formerly on their pay slips. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Omongina, other members, your consultations are too loud.
Honorable Speaker, the question was why TSC has not dispersed, has delayed in dispersing. And TSC has tried, of course, to explain, but I will also, with the committee, seek for more clarification from the Commission, whether they are the ones who are supposed to disperse the money from the Commission to the service providers. They will have to give us that clarification.
Omongina, the reason you are here to respond is to have those facts that you are trying to seek from your principals.
Yes, what I had already clarified was that for sure when the exchequer is released to TSC, they also limit the money to the consortium.
Yeah, Baba.
But as at the time the question was asked, the exchequer had not given money to TSC. But as from the last 2 years, because the contract was 3 years, it has been paid fully. It was only the first and second quarter which they had not limited. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Milemba.
1 minute, Honorable Speaker. So, can we get a clarification on why the money cannot be paid on time, yet the teachers surrendered their medical allowance? They used to earn it as salary. And then they surrendered it to go to the pool to provide the medical cover. Thank you.
Dorothy, hold on, Omongina. Yes, Dorothy.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want Speaker to weigh on this matter. Speaker, it is evident that teachers' medical scheme is recovered from their salaries every month. Honorable Speaker, diseases cannot wait for release of exchequer. And Honorable Speaker, because teachers pay their money every month, what measures is Teacher Service Commission doing so that they ensure that the service providers are paid on time so that our teachers and their dependents access medical cover seamlessly? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, according to the reply, it is that money that is not directly cut from teachers, but it is the exchequer. It is from TSC to exchequer, and the delays are from the exchequer. So it is this house.
Order,
This
exchequer to TSC or TSC to exchequer?
It is from exchequer to TSC. It is them who releases the exchequer to TSC. So it is already, it has delayed. So all of us, we should ask why our teachers are getting into this situation because of the delays from the exchequer.
Energy. Is Tom Boyer in the house? Tom Boyer? Yes, Gikaria? Do you have a response?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this was a response that was sought by Honorable Tom Boyer, Member of Parliament for Nyatike constituency. Honorable Speaker, the first question that was sought was the status of replacement and maintenance of dilapidated power transmission and distribution infrastructure, including collapsed power poles and hanging live wires in Nyatike constituency. Honorable Speaker, KPLC carries out continuous maintenance on the medium and low voltage network and inspections of power network with most recently being done in the months of March and April. And this identifies the weak areas and come up with a plan for action, for immediate action plan. Honorable Speaker, the recent inspection identified the following: rotten, leaning wooden poles. The line passes through private land, thus limiting accessibility. 3, very many trees encroach the power line. D, a large number of illegal connections. All these contribute towards the inefficiencies of the power supply in that area. KPLC has initiated a rapid response initiative which is projected for June and July. A, immediate replacement of the faulty transformers. B, replace a target number 800 number poles with concrete ones from wooden to concrete. C, fully maintain the existing 300 transformers. D, safety campaigns, which was done through Remi FM on the 7th May 2025, and a physical baraza on the 22nd May 2025. Second question, Honorable Speaker, was a report on the causes of frequent and prolonged power outages in Nyatike constituency. Honorable Speaker, Nyatike constituency is served by Gogo 33 kV feeder line. Honorable Speaker, the rapid growth in the new project from REREC and Government of Kenya last mile connectivity has seen a span of 350 kilometers of the transmission line with over 40 branch spurs. Honorable Speaker, we have 310 transformers which serve 5,961 customers, and of course the numbers is growing. Honorable Speaker, Gen Gogo Falls Power Station is the one that serves Nyatike area. Honorable Speaker, also third-party interference on power line, vandalism, illegal connections, and tree cutting by members of the public has also contributed towards that. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, is the conducive wind corridor. There are so many trees and the place is flat, and so, Honorable Speaker, the wind causes trees to fall, thus affecting the transmission line. The midterm initiatives, Honorable Speaker, is that Ketrako Masaba 132/33 substation in Migori is in the final stages of completion, and B, a dedicated feeder tee-off at Stella to Gogo generation is ongoing and is expected to be completed by December 2025. Question number 3, Honorable Speaker, are the measures that the ministry has put in place to compensate Mr. William Onyango, including reimbursements for medical expenses and consequent loss suffered by the family of Mr. Onyango, requesting also to indicate specific timelines. On the case of William Onyango, Honorable Speaker, the accident happened on the 22nd April 2025, and the claim was launched at KPLC 12th May 2025 and reported to KPLC Insurance Services Provider the next day, that is 13th May 2025. KPLC has served with court summons on 26th May 2025, and the same reported to KPLC Insurance Service Providers. The insurance investigator has commenced the investigation with a view to conclude the matter after all legal formalities are provided. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the last question is a report on the number of victims or deaths that have occurred due to faulty power infrastructure since 2017. Honorable Speaker, the number of April reportable incidences for 2017 to date are 16, out of which 9 cases were fatal in nature, 5 cases were non-fatal, 1 case involving livestock, and 1 case being a non-injury incident where a pole fell near a shop. Among the 9 fatal cases, 4 cases involved illegal and substandard extensions beyond the KPLC metering points by the customers, leading to electrocution accidents. The remaining 5 cases were due to compromised ground clearance of the power infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, out of the 16, 6 cases are in court, have claims in different stages of investigation, 2 cases have been settled, and 8 cases do not have any claims. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Tom, you are satisfied with that?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The response is fairly good. The only area of concern is the speed. How Kenya Power is responding to replace the faulty lines. And this one also reported at Masaba. The one they are saying will improve the power in Nyatike. If done in time, I think it will save my business people in the constituency. But on the injured in May, I would wish to report that he finally died and he was buried last week. The kind of power we are receiving in our constituency is not power which can enhance investment or business in that area. It's something which can have a blackout for over 1 week, and no serious businessman can invest his money in Nyatike constituency when it comes to power outages. But for the report which has been given, Honorable Speaker, it's fairly good and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Let it lie there. Beatrice Adagala. Beatrice Adagala, not in the House, stayed to Wednesday afternoon tomorrow. Mark Mwenje in the House. Yes, Chair Health. Dr. Nyekal.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in response to request for a statement by one Mark Mwenje regarding the shortage of polio and BCG vaccines, this is the response from the ministry, Mr. Speaker. 1, the immediate measures the ministry is taking to address the current shortage of polio and BCG vaccines in the country, including specific timelines. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is fully aware that the disruption in vaccine availability is causing a greater anxiety in the country. To address the current shortage, the Ministry of Health has implemented the following immediate measures. 1, emergency procurement support. The government has, through the Ministry of Health, made an emergency disbursement of Kenya shillings 1 billion to support the procurement of essential vaccines, namely BCG, oral polio, tetanus, diphtheria, through UNICEF. These quantities are sufficient to sustain the country's routine immunization program for a period of 3 months. 2, Mr. Speaker, on the arrival of the vaccines on 4th of June for polio and 11th of June for BCG, a distribution timelines were worked out and the distributions have been done, and throughout the regions, the vaccines were dispatched to 9 regional depots on 12th of June 2025, and these regions are Kisumu, Kakamega, Nakuru, Eldoret, Garissa, Meru, Nyeri, Nairobi, and Mombasa. In line with the devolved health system, the ministry, in coordination with the Council of Governors, issued communication to all counties requesting their respective departments to collect the vaccines from the depots and facilitated onward distribution. Mr. Speaker, the distribution is as follows. Eldoret, BCG 264,000 doses, polio 264,000 doses, and tetanus 147. Garissa, BCG 114,000, OPV 114,000, diphtheria 63. Kakamega 216,000 for BCG, 216 for polio, and 118,000 for diphtheria. Kisumu Regional Store 270,000, BCG 270,000, polio, and 150,000 tetanus diphtheria. Meru Regional Store 96,000, polio 96,000, polio, and 54,000 tetanus diphtheria. Mombasa 192,000, BCG, and polio 192,000, and diphtheria 105,000. Mr. Speaker, Nakuru 192,000, 192,000, 105 for BCG, polio, and tetanus. Nyeri 78,000, 78,000, 45,000 for BCG, polio, and tetanus. Total was 1,944,000 for BCG, 1,944,000 for polio, and 1,075,000 for tetanus. Mr. Speaker, there's a balance to be dispatched, indicating, Mr. Speaker, that actually for the period indicated, we'll actually have adequate BCG. Now, the logistics for quick distribution, as you have said earlier, across the country is working with the Council of Governors through the county government. Mr. Speaker, the other important thing about this is the long term, and Mr. Speaker, there's a bit of history to this. Kenya, since the year 2001, has been a valued beneficiary of support from Gavi. So, Speaker, what that means is we actually get support from Gavi to the tune of US dollars 950 million in funding to strengthen our national immunization program. Under Gavi's co-funding financing framework, the government of Kenya is required to make an annual financial contribution towards vaccine procurement. This agreement is based on a shared responsibility model, and continued compliance is essential for Kenya to remain eligible for this support. For the current financial year, the total amount required by the Ministry of Health to meet the country's vaccine procurement needs is 4.2 billion, as indicated below. Kenya shillings 2 billion for procurement of traditional vaccines, 1.62 billion for Gavi co-financing, which is due on June 2025, and 585 million for the replacement of vaccine independence initiative through UNICEF. So, Mr. Speaker, from this, we actually as of now, we have adequate vaccines. Now, but we have a shortfall. So, Mr. Speaker, to address the outstanding shortfall, the ministry secured an additional 930 million Kenya shillings for supplementary budget 3, earmarked specifically to cover the 620 million balance pending. Mr. Speaker, basically we have to put some money for Gavi to support us, and that money, 930 million, has actually been made available. The Ministry of Health continues to actively engage the National Treasury to ensure timely release of these funds and full compliance with our financial obligations under the co-financing agreement. These efforts are particularly focused on meeting the June 2025 deadline to avoid any further disruption. This disruption came because we did not meet the deadline, but this money now will help us meet the deadline, and we should be able to forestall any shortages. So, Speaker, the long-term strategy put in place to strengthen the national vaccine supply chain so as to build resilience against future disruption in vaccine available. What the ministry is doing is to really looking for increased future budget allocation and ring fencing vaccine funds against other budget provisions and timely disbursement of funds. The most difficult one has been the timely disbursement of funds. So with this, Mr. Speaker, the ministry wishes to assure the House that the Kenya public that the government, through the Ministry of Health, is committed to making every effort to prevent stockouts and sustain high immunization coverage. Our goal is clear. No child or eligible person should ever miss a life-saving vaccine due to preventable supply chain failures. So, Speaker, we will continue to work closely with partners and UNICEF and Gavi and county government to ensure that long-term plans translate into consistent availability of vaccines across all regions of the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I think your worries are responded to.
Yes.
Yes, largely.
Largely, Honorable Speaker, and I just want to thank him. I just have one issue that I'll raise to just thank the Chair and yourself for actually your intervention in this matter. Honorable Speaker, the only issue I'll raise is that sometime for about 2 weeks in May and sometime before the 11th, when the vaccines were made available, there were children who were born in various hospitals, including my own constituency, and did not receive these vaccines. And I'm sure it will be all over around the country. Perhaps I would have expected the Chair to give just a guideline to Kenyans, because those children who did not get those vaccines, what happens? Those mothers took those children, went home, and those children remain at home without having gotten these vaccines. And for some of the very marginalized areas, even getting these children to go back to those hospitals might be an issue. Perhaps the ministry would give a guideline and just give an advisory to these parents on what they need to do for these parents, these May, June babies born during that time. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you to the
I
Chair.
think it's sufficiently comprehensive. When children are born, I think they're given a vaccine, is it every month for some time before they are weaned off? So what the chairman and your ministry should do now is do some advocacy to the country that those children who are born in hospitals and missed BCG vaccinations should go back and get them.
Although that is not specifically written here, I had actually undertaken and discussed with the ministry, and they actually have done that. And even when the children miss vaccines, they are actually indicated that they should visit the clinics when the vaccines become available. Mr. Speaker, just a little story. This came to me in a very interesting way. My worker had a child, and that's when I knew the 2 weeks they missed the vaccines, and he told me travel to Uganda to get the vaccine done. That is how seriously parents take vaccination.
And what we also need to do is getting vaccines landed in Nairobi is one thing. Getting them in hospitals in far-flung areas like Turkana, Mandera is another. So ensure that each hospital gets their rightful share of the vaccines to administer to young children born in our country.
Thank you. Even that has been done through the distribution channels. Thank
Next,
you.
Murugara, to respond to Umulkhair Harun. Are you ready?
No. I have not received any response, but I will make an inquiry so that we are able to respond to it. It doesn't take longer than it should.
Speak loud, I can't hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've not received the response. In fact, I wasn't notified. But I will make inquiry so that we do it as soon as we can, because maybe it has delayed.
Okay, Umulkhair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You are listed to get a response. The chair says he's not aware. Now that he is, we'll slot you for Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
Get the response, Honorable Murugara. Is Beatrice Adagala in the house now? Yes, Gikaria, you have a response to Canaan?
Yes, I have, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we received, the committee received a request, and they requested the ministry, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, on the response. Honorable Speaker, question number 1 was a report on the current status of funding, planning, and of the implementation of extension of the national grid from Garissa to Wajir and Mandera counties. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Energy has planned to ensure all counties are connected by 2035. This is posted in the Least Coast Power Development Plan and the Ketraco Transmission Master Plan. Honorable Speaker, Table 1 summarizes the planned projects in Garissa, Mandera, and Wajir County. And I hope the Honorable Canaan has, I don't want to repeat, Honorable Speaker. The feasibility study and feasibility study for Garissa-Wajir transmission line has been done, and the ministry in the process of sourcing funds. The supply of power to Mandera is to be effected by either new 220 kV line from Wajir, approximately 250 kilometer of transmission line of 220 kV line, or a new interconnector from Ethiopia's grid. Ketraco is in the process of analyzing the options. Support requests have been submitted to development partners to assist with financing the pre-feasibility and feasibility studies. It is worth to note that due to the long distance from the nearest grid supplied location in Kenya, and to mitigate risks in voltage instability related to lightly loaded long high voltage lines, Ketraco is considering an option to be analyzed during the feasibility study, the possibility of having Mandera supplied through a proposed cross-border high voltage transmission line from Ethiopia. Deliberations have been initiated with Ethiopia Transmission Company on the possibility of connectivity. Once the studies are complete and the projects are deemed feasible, the ministry will embark on the process of sourcing for financing. Question number 2, the immediate and long-term measures the government is putting into place to ensure residents of Northeastern region get access to reliable and affordable power. Honorable Speaker, the ministry is cognizant of the sufferings of the residents of Northeastern region. The overall target of the ministry is to connect every Kenyan to the national grid. Therefore, as indicated in, Honorable Speaker, because that is, to this effect, the ministry has been proactive in offering alternative solution through distributed sources like solar home systems, mini-grids. Honorable Speaker, there is table 2 and 3, which shows the off-grid solutions to the 3 areas that is under the solar PV mini-grids and the diesel stations. Honorable Speaker, to actualize these plans, the ministry needs more funding, as most of the projects are pending under implementation stage. For example, the financial year 24-25, RELEC was allocated 400 million for operational activities, while budgeted maintenance cost was Kenya shillings 300 million. However, the maintenance cost budget was reduced by 60%. Thus, hence the actual budget availed for maintenance was only 120 million shillings. Honorable Speaker, the major cost of operation of off-grid station is procurement of fuel, as the average annual cost of 7 billion shillings. Honorable Speaker, there is a description of items and the cost that is to be used for off-grid fuel, diesel, and operational costs for staff and the equipment maintenance, Honorable Speaker. It is worth noting that over the time, the demand of these areas served by the mini-grids and diesel stations have been growing and require upgrade. REREC has proposed to upgrade 27 mini-grids at an estimated cost of 1,214 million. The hybridization of 20 diesel stations at an estimated cost of 7 billion shillings, Honorable Speaker, for the northern Kenya counties is demonstrated, Honorable Speaker. On the other hand, KPLC needs an additional 1,553 million for off-grid station as annexed in 4, 5, and 6. Question number 3, Honorable Speaker. The government plans to address the gap in provision for power in the region, including alternatives for provision of off-grid solar access. Honorable Speaker, the ministry is undertaking a vigorous exercise of power provision in northeastern region through Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Program, COSAP, at an approximate cost of 5.66 billion. The program, Kenya Off-Grid COSAP, has the following key components. $40 million for mini-grids for community facilities, $48 million standalone solar system, $40 million standalone solar system and solar water pumps, for community facilities. Under COSAP, Honorable Speaker.
Vicaria, how long to go? Paraphrase.
I'm done, just about. Honorable Speaker, under COSAP, mini-grid and standalone solar facilities, Mandera has been allocated $15.1 million shillings, approximately 2 billion Kenya shillings. Wajir has an allocation of 20 million, approximately 2.5 billion. And lastly, Garissa has an approximate of 1.4 billion shillings. Honorable Speaker, Table 4 states the number of sites per county under COSAP, Honorable Speaker. And for Mandera, we have 28 number, Wajir 15, Garissa 20, and total number is 63. Honorable Speaker, further, the ministry through KPLC is undertaking hybridization of the substations listed in Table 5 below under AFD funding. Honorable Speaker, the table is indicated AFD funded mini grids. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
I requested for a statement regarding the extension of the national grid from Garissa, Wajir, Mandera. And Mr. Speaker, I know at one time as a young lawyer, you have been to that part of Kenya.
Yes.
The answer given by the chair,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, is a continuation of sessional paper number 10 of 1965, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
I want to get your attention so that the good lawyer can wait for wise counsel from the Speaker when he's free. Mr. Speaker, I was saying this statement is a product of sessional paper number 10 of 1965.